Hey, today we are going to talk about an often overlooked part of darkroom maintenance, and that is cleaning out your spray out booth. It's an ugly job. Somebody's got to do it. If you're in a shop like many of us that don't have a single dedicated individual to run your darkroom, you'll get a myriad of your employees running through doing what they believe is best practice or lack thereof. Maintaining the cleanliness of your sink needs to fall to somebody, and you do want to do it on a semi-regular or a very regular schedule, depending on how busy you guys are. Now, we have several people here at Ryonet that will come in and use the darkroom. We have our educators, we have the people helping our educators, myself, and anyone who's interested in screen printing will come in here and clean screens, reclaim. When it comes to maintaining the sink, it's definitely something that's not high on our priority list when it comes to everybody else in the business. But in your shop, reinforcing, it should be something that you do on a semi-regular basis, depending on how busy you are. The last place I worked, we would do this on a quarterly basis. At the end of the day, where we have finished reclaiming a set of screens or multiple sets of screens, where that water and the chemical we've been using has had a chance to soften all these pieces of emulsion, maybe some ink on the sides of the booth, we would be able to come in, hit that again with maybe with a little bit of a haze remover product and be able to knock that out. So we've done a set of screens for reclaiming in this booth. And the water that we use, the cleaning chemistry that we use, has had a chance to soak into all these little bits of emulsion and some ink that's here in the sink. I then took a haze remover and I sprayed it on there just as a way to let it get into all those bits and chunks so that they can be soft enough so they can scrape off. Now, I am using a metal spatula, which not everyone may want to use. If you have a plastic booth, a polypropylene booth, you probably don't want to use a metal spatula. You want to use something that's going to be a little bit softer. Always give it a shot. And maybe you don't need a spatula. Maybe you just need a stiff bristle brush in order to scrape off anything that's on the side of your sink. Why am I going on at length about cleaning your booth and scraping off the bits and chunks of dried emulsion and maybe some ink? Number one, this is all about cleanliness of your screens. If your screens end up getting any chemical sprayed back on them during the degrease step, you're gonna get fish eyes. If you ever wonder where those little spots are coming from, it's from the chemical stuck in the little chunks and bits that are stuck to your sink that then gets sprayed and splashes back on your screen. This is why having a clean booth is very, very important. So I did some testing on the walls here and on the floor to see how soft everything is. Yeah, it's pretty soft. So I'm gonna dive in, use a little elbow grease, and get my sink clean. So when you're using any kind of a putty knife, or in this case, an edged instrument to clean or scrape your booth, you don't want to scrape at it with a high angle. You want to use a very low angle to get in there underneath and to create as few mars of your surface as possible. And those mars of the surface, whether it's stainless steel or the polypropylene, those can be seeds for catching and holding on to any emulsion bits the next time you go and reclaim a screen. You'll see a trail of emulsion or color where those scratches are, and they can be quite the challenge to remove. So this spot here, I scraped on it a little bit to see if I could dig it off. Ended up causing a couple of gouges. Gouges are going to happen. There's really no way around it. Just always try and minimize it because it's a place where emulsion can catch easily and just grow as a seed and create a bigger nodule, a bigger lump, and it can grow there. Okay, so I've done about as much as I can. I'm pooped. My forearms feel like Popeye the Sailor Man, if you're familiar with that cartoon. I've got the booth scraped down. There are spots that I would need to hit a second, maybe a third time, just because it got that deep and that thick. I did not do a scraping of the back here. I'm gonna hit that with a pressure washer because what's built up on there is actually pretty thin and we've had chemicals soak into it. I'm just gonna hit it with a pressure washer, really close range. And that's gonna get rid of the majority of what's on there. If you've got strips or chunks that are stuck to the polypropylene in your sink, then yeah, give them a little scrape. If they're not gonna come off with a pressure washer, give them time. If they soak enough, usually they'll come free under heavy pressure from your pressure washer. So I am going to rinse the booth down, see what's left that I need to clean up next time, and get the gunk off of the back there, the polypropylene. This sink was a little bit dirtier than I originally thought. So I did a decent job removing that top layer or two of what's been built up. It's been a bit longer than I thought it has been since this was properly cleaned. So my next step on this is to reclaim a couple of sets of screens, find time to come in and get in and let some chemicals soak into these tough spots and come back and clean them out again until it's all gone. And what this does is this underlies the importance of regular maintenance, regular cleaning of your spray out booth and how important that can be. Now, we weren't having any issues with water spots or anything else like that, but it is still a best habit. And if we're gonna be filming in here, a clean sink is kind of something that you want. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed what you see here, or you just like some ASMR of me cleaning out the spray out booth, like and subscribe below. If you have a question, any process questions, leave a comment below. Thank you all very much. See you guys in this new year.